What is up, everyone? This your boy Vlad coming with a quick review video. I'm sorry. As you can see, it is 7:36 a.m. So I thought I'll just get this video out the way and just let you guys know about my first week, really, of November. As you can see, from November 1st to November 8th, I am currently down $303.49, which is definitely not bad due to the fact that I was caught in an offering. So I'm going to do trade by trade, explaining, what I thought, and explain some of my losses too. So ISEE. Alright. So ISEE, this was done by me. So my thought behind ISEE was that this stock was, it was at one point at 94 cents, and it shot all the way up to $4.36. So on the day that I traded it, I think I did overnight, on 10/31, short average of 324.80. So I just find 10/31. So it was on this day. And the reason why I shorted it was because it was its very first red day. I mean, this I wouldn't really count because it gapped up, but this would consider it the first red day, and I thought that, okay, this stock is now going to be done. First red day. So let me just pull up the entry day of how it looked. So the overall trade, the thought behind it, that was okay. That was good. But my execution of the play, not so good. Let me just find it here. Lower this down a little bit. Alright. This was on, so it was this day. Let's have the time frame on here. Let me just switch it around. Alright, just bear with me, guys. Alright, so this is the entry day of it here. Alright, so this had this huge gap up overnight. Then it bounced. Then it went red on the day. So it went red on that day. So I started shorting it towards the end of the day because I'm thinking, okay, this is weakness. First red day, which is this day. So let me short, taking it overnight. So I took it overnight. Had a little, it started gapping up during pre-market. Then immediately from pre-market, this thing slammed down. And I saw this happen too. Had this little almost double bottom right here, and it held, like it just couldn't penetrate this area, couldn't get further down. And once I started uptick, I actually was about to put in my order to go ahead and sell, to cover. I was like, nah, it was the first red day. This thing have plenty of room to come down. So I got a little stubborn. Then I saw this grind in action, and it spiked past the open. Past the open, then I saw this start collapsing. Then I saw that the 330s was held. And right then and there, I was thinking, okay, Vlad, you need to get out. You need to get out. This thing is holding. And another thing too, on that day, I was actually at work. So I wouldn't recommend, trying to trade at work because, you got to do your work, you got to other stuff. And yeah, so I saw that because I had level 2 pulled up on my phone while I was at work. Saw that it was holding the 330s, but instead of getting out, I was like, let me just hold. So next thing you know, when I look back at my screen again, this thing was trading right around here. I was like, oh crap, now I need to get out. So took a loss that really I didn't need to take, because I should have just exit out of the position when I had the profits. Not only when I had the profits, is had to think of, from this point of view, you're at work. You're at work, you're really not being able to see the chart. The only thing you have pulled up on your phone is the level 2. So this wasn't a smart decision for me. I got a little stubborn. So that was the first one. Second trade, was my biggest loss is SINT. So I got caught in an offering on SINT. But look how long I've been holding this stock. 1017. And if you look at 1017, and I said plenty of time that I need to get out of this stock. Plenty of time. But me being stubborn, wanting bigger profit, and I even had a chance to take a small loss. 1017. Look at all these days. I could have got out. Could have got it here. Could have got out here. Here. But no, I was being stubborn, thinking like, okay, this stock gonna have one big news and it's gonna break out past this level. Another thing too that I usually consider when I'm going short is the volume on one of those particular days. Like on this day, it had 19 million. It's not a big surprise that right around here, the stock, because there was like a big seller, I think, right around around $2.74, $2.75. So every time it couldn't penetrate past that area, couldn't break out past that area, and I saw this, and with 19 million in volume, I mean that's a hard task for any stock to try to pass. And when you combine it with the 25 million in volume right here, it's very hard. So I knew this. I had this in the back of my mind, but I ignored it. Thinking like, okay, instead of taking a $70 loss, because at the time that was presented to me, and I thought about taking it off my whole position, because I've been holding, for a very long, since the 17th of October, and I finally got out on this day, on the 4th, once it did its offering. So I had plenty of time to come out with just a scratch on this play, but stubbornness. I was stubborn, like thinking, okay, let me at least make a profit. If it's $2 or $3, let me just, come out of it. But I didn't. This had no news. This was, my bread and butter, reverse split. And I actually made money on this ticker already. I want to say I bought it right around here the first time. Small position and sold right around here. Then I rebought again, I think on this day. Yep, on that day, on the 17th, when it was going down. Bad decision. Um, they did an offering on this day, $410 loss. So that's a part of the reason why I am down. So far, showed you two trades that I'm down, starting the month with $621 loss. So that's how much I'm down for the first 2 days of the month. I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to climb out of this. But I had some pretty good wins as well to try to counteract that. So AGRX, this was first red day, and I did a blog post about it because I was very, very patient on this. I was mad though because I wanted to do more shares, 1,000 shares, but my buying power at the time, because I'm stuck in another play, would only allow me to get 500. I tried to go 1,000, tried to do 900, 7, 8, 600, but no, it would only allow me to do 1,000. And I explained this on the blog post. If you want to go check that out, it is on Profitly. But just a quick recap and what I saw. This stock was up because I still would consider this as a green day. And this is my thought behind it. So on this day, it gapped up. It was at 35 cents, gapped up all the way to a high of $1.54. So that's what, over 300%. So I'll consider this as a green day as well, even though it, collapsed. And I did trade it on this day as well too, because that was a huge gap up. But I'll consider this as green day. Then you have another 2 gap up, 3 gap up. And on the 4th gap up, it was extremely, extremely high. And not to mention, you got to also realize you have 60 million people buying right here on this day. So 60 million people, 60 million shares, I should say, buying on this day. Then you add another 12 million on this day. Then you add another 29 million on this day. Then you add another 33 million shares on this day. So these are more people coming in. So at some point in time, once this stock start hitting weakness, the people that are buying here that have profit, they're going to automatically think to themselves, okay, it's time for me to get out. Let me take my profit and let me just run. And that's what they did. And the only thing that I did was just look at the VWAP. Where are all the buyers at? This was very, very predictable. So I was looking at where all the buyers are at. At the time, the buyers were at $2.81. I waited for confirmation. Had this big crack right here. Let's see, what was the volume on that crack? I don't have the V1 on there. Alright. The volume on this crack was 450,000 shares, followed by 574,000 shares. So once I saw these two cracks, I wasn't getting in right away because I didn't want to chase the weakness. Because typically they do have another bounce. So I waited for the bounce and try to get as close as the VWAP as possible, which I got in right around here. Nope, that's not it. That is not it. This is the crack. I'm sorry, guys. So this is actually it right here. isn't it? Okay, this was the crack. I'm sorry. This was the big crack. This was 5 minutes. That's why it was a little different. Yeah. So with the minute chart, I waited for this crack here. 453,000 shares in 1 minute. So with that, I was waiting on it to bounce back up a little bit, get close to the VWAP, and the VWAP at that time was about like 280 something. So on this push up, that's when I got short, because my risk level would have been, I'm just gonna get out high of day. And another bearish factor that this stock exhibit was it was red on the day as well. So we have multiple, these are all different factors that it's giving me more confidence to say, hey, okay, I'm just going to go short. We have multiple updates with no pullback, and the first time around this stock already is red on the day after multiple days of being up. So that was a confirmation. It was under VWAP where all the buyers were at. That was another confirmation. So for me, it was easier, just to think, okay, this is going to be a short. So I went short. I had pretty good execution because I got some out, I want to say at 230 something, and the other half was at 211 or I want to say like 211 or something like that. But overall, 19% profit, which is really good in my opinion. $262, especially with the size that I took. So not a bad trade at all. All right, then my next one was KGJI. So I started just going back to see what was working, and a lot of things that were working was for me buying off the lows. So I bought this stock, I want to say on this day, close to where the market closed. Next day had a little bit of move, but then it slammed back down, so I just got out. Reverse split, no news. It regained compliance, but it wasn't moving. So I got in, got out, $9 loss. BNGO, this one also was very predictable. So this is using Stephen Duck's method, bounce short. It announced this was a contract winner, but it had massive volume. Look, it had 34 million here, 68 million here, 37 million here. So anytime I see a stock gapping up and they have like huge volume on those days, automatically I'm going short. In pre-market, automatically I'm thinking short. So I got in short during pre-market right around, because it was under VWAP as well too, right around like 140, 141. Then it just started fading, and I just got out during pre-market because it was collapsing, and I know they were going to do something to try to at least save it, so that way all of their, and plus this stock had warrants. It had like 20 million in warrants. And during pre-market, it was trading, probably already traded about like 3 million pre-market. So I knew this stock was going to be pretty good to that day. So I waited. I saw there was a lot of sellers on the ask at the 250. and I contemplated about going in again, but I actually wanted to see this push up a little bit higher for me to go in. So the second time around, I didn't go in and just watched this fade for the rest of the day. And now it's back to where it came from. So to me, that was an easy short. $105 off of I think 500 shares as well. Yeah, 500 shares, 141. Got 120 pre-market. So I had that profit just sitting there right before the market opened. So that was 14%. I wanted to go because I did reserve 1,000 shares for this as well, but I didn't get to use all of the shares that I had reserved. This one was stupid. I was trying to anticipate earnings. I don't know what I was thinking. I know you're not supposed to anticipate earning, but it was one of those scenarios where I'm like, okay, thinking like, oh, what if, earnings as well, and this stock could moon, that's the mindset that I was thinking, like home run, home run, home run. So I didn't, I didn't think it through, because this could have been a lot worse than my result actually is, because I bought it because I had 1 day trade left, and I had used it on BNGO, and before I got out BNGO, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and just buy this stock, and that way I could just hold overnight. That's not going to count as a day trade, and so on and so on. And next thing you know, gap down, bad earnings, gap down. I'm like, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me, Vlad. Why did you do this trade? This could have been avoided. You didn't have to go in. There's nothing, there's nothing that said, hey, buy me. And the only thing that I was thinking, like, what if earning was good? If earning is good, then this could be the next FRAN, and this is FRAN. This is what happened when it had good earnings. It gapped and it ran. So I was thinking of home run versus playing it safe. So I bought that, gap down. Then it started getting a little bit lower. Then it started grinding up. The first time that I saw, like, okay, I could get out with like a $38 loss. Let me just get out. So I did. Got out. $38 loss. Well, like I said, this definitely could have been avoided. All right. SEI. SEI. To me, this is going to be a very good trade. Very good stock in the near future, next week, next couple of weeks or so. I think this is going to skyrocket. But yeah, I bought it on what day? It made a low. That's all it was. No news. It made a low. So I bought it on 11.6 as it was going down. I waited till it bounced up a little bit and got in. Next day it did gap up, so I'm thinking it may run a little bit. And another thing that I was thinking about too was for FCell, that's energy, and that was having a pretty good move, but FCell ended up dying down. Hence, I think this is why this died as well too. So I did buy a small position on this, I think like 100 shares, but I definitely want to get more in this stock. But yeah, just took a small loss. Saw it's not moving, so I just got out for a $3 loss off of $303 shares. So nothing big there, nothing major. So yeah, guys, these are all my trades thus far. Um, I do have other trades that I am down in, but I am still holding. So hopefully those work out, or if it could get closer to break even, then definitely I am getting out. But as of right now, with my trades that I did exit, I am currently down on the month $303.49. This was just a video lesson, and I find for me, whenever I do video lessons, it's really for my benefit, um, because me talking it out about my trade helps me feel a little bit more confident in what I'm doing, and also it outlines my train of thought. And once I hear it, I could. It just makes a lot of sense for me. But yeah, this is Vlad signing off. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I don't mind answering questions. I don't claim to know everything, but things that I do know, it's currently working for me right now. But this is Vlad signing off. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace.